Mike Gundy admitted he thought NIL would go away and admitted that this is the first offseason that Oklahoma State had a transfer portal class that they paid to bring in. Take a listen to this, folks. An interesting take from Mike Gundy.
I thought this will go away. Surely this can't last. And then it just kept building momentum. And then after a point, about 18 months ago, I said, this is not going away. We're going to have to make some real adjustments here. So the truth be known, this portal class from January is the first class that we ever bought. We had not bought portal kids.
Wow.
That hurt us. Yeah. Hurt us the last year or so from a depth standpoint. And that was nobody's fault. That's not the administration's fault, not the donors. That was really kind of my fault, because what I had done was taken money that had been raised through donations and spread it amongst the troops somewhat evenly to the current players. We didn't go out and solicit for players and pay them to come to our team. We did that starting in December, which I think we all would agree, if you don't do that, you're not going to survive.
Yeah, if you don't do that, you're going to survive. And Mike Gundy really had no choice but to cave in and, play the game, so to speak, when it comes to this new era of NIL and college football. You've seen Nick Saban and other coaches get out and say they don't want to play the game, they want to get out. Now it's interesting. Mike Gundy, Oklahoma State was, going into the season last year, was ranked at the top. Expected, repeat. They won the Big 12 2 years ago, and then they finished dead last. It looked absolutely horrible. Now, looking at their transfer portal class off the top of my head, I believe they finished last in the Big 12 at 24. Now, going into this season, they're actually fourth in the Big 12 and actually, I believe, have a top 30 transfer portal class. So they, have elected, after learning their mistakes of not using the transfer portal and NIL and going out and bringing in a transfer portal class, paying for a transfer portal class, they've elected to do that now. Will that pay off on the field this season? That's a big question mark to me. One thing they did also do is bring in a general manager, and this is something I really want to kind of highlight here. They brought in a general manager named Kenyatta Wright, former NFL linebacker as well here, and he talked about Mike Gundy at Big 12 Media Days. Here, take a listen.
I was always intrigued with the front office stuff, but the NFL, living in the city, none of that stuff excited me. I'm an Oklahoma boy. But when Coach Gundy came and talked to me about this role and, coming in full time and doing
I will also note Wright is an Oklahoma State alum.
it, and really kind of looking at the whole operations of our front office and the future of all Cowboys, it was really intriguing. So we kind of got to model it the Cowboy way, and the way that we feel that fits us and not what everyone tells us that you have to do,
Kenyatta has an advantage because he's a great communicator. Like, everybody likes Kenyatta, and he can talk dollar figures with 19-year-old kids. Think about that, okay? If you have children that are that age yet, to talk hundreds of thousands of dollars and maybe millions of dollars with a 20-year-old and try to make sense of it, extremely difficult. He can do that. And he has unbelievable relationships with agents and representatives, and they trust him.
For me, it's the perfect fit. Yeah. And I've been able to be in the program, been able to thrive and flourish in a program, leave, and then come back, and I get to share all those pursuits with all of the kids that we bring in, and I'm not like trying to sell them a story. Yeah.
I'm going to say it right now. That's exactly what Oklahoma State needed, and especially after Mike Gundy come out saying this is the first offseason they really took it seriously. It was the first portal class they really paid to bring in. I mean, that's somebody that you guys need. That's somebody pushing back on Coach JV saying general managers are not important. This is exactly why you need a general manager, because Mike Gundy ain't worrying about that shit. That's the truth of it. You need somebody who's going to come in there and handle that. Because if it doesn't, it falls on the head coach. And Mike Gundy already came out and said he didn't take it seriously. Now this offseason, they're bringing a top 30 transfer portal class. They also got a safety coming over from Miami named Zaquan Patterson, who I expect to start for them. Transfer coming over from TCU, quarterback transfer. But Joe, you asked about their quarterback situation here. Obviously got the kid Flores, got him. I would expect him to start. It's hard for me to be optimistic about their quarterback position. You got the TCU transfer kid and then Bowen, the freshman. Uh, uh, they're gonna play. Gundy ain't gonna play a freshman. So I mean, I like you mentioned, Flores dual threat. I expect them to roll with them. Still though, is it too late? Was Mike Gundy too late to really understand and take NIL and transfer portal and college football seriously? That is what 2025 will tell. Now, sticking on this train of NIL and transfer portal and college football, Mike Gundy also talked about making college football players employees. Take a listen.
College needs to instigate and to build that type of system, so we don't have the same 4, 5, or 6 schools that pay the most money at the end of the season in the playoffs.
But how would that manifest in like actuality? Like how would you do that?
Well, you got to restructure the system, and you got to admit that the players are employees. And then you can build a collective bargaining. We've all talked about it.
Yep.
But you have to admit they're employees.
And you could actually have a salary cap if
you could do it all.
yeah.
And you need that. And then you need an entry salary cap. Like you need an entry level for a high school player coming in because it's not sustainable.
See, there's two sides to this. There's folks that are big fans of it, and I just talked to Matt McChesney about this, who is all for this, all for it. Now you have JB, who's completely against it, but I think JB is completely against this whole system we're in. Now, in this system we're in right now, I see it from both sides. I think it could be beneficial. I also think it could be problematic, but you're going to remodel the whole system. Who's going to do that? Like, who's going to magically come in and do it? You think the NCAA, who is fucking powerless, is going to come in and do that? I just don't see it. Plus, if they're employees, they get benefits, they get paid time off, I think this is, if you can't admit it's professional football now, if they go and do that, then it's professional football. I take the student athlete, take the amateur, everything, take all that out of it. If that goes down, that's what it is. Now, I don't know if I really don't. I don't know how I feel about it. I think the NCAA is powerless, so it's tough for me to see that even happening. Now, Matt's a big fan of it. I'm not. That's the last step here, because if that happens, it's professional football, and then all of it goes out the window. So, does the NCAA or just college football, do you want to take that turn? We're already this far. I don't know. Well, something needs to be done, and something is being. I mean, the house settlement, revenue sharing stuff is being done, but it's still a unregulated Wild Wild West product is what I'm going to describe it as.